Welcome back everyone to Magius Plays Metroid 2. Last time we started on our journey into here, but we've barely scratched the surface on this section of the map. And there's a fairly large area just outside of here that we haven't gone to look around in yet. After the last episode, I did go ahead and take a little bit of time to backtrack and get the extra health that we saw earlier. And then lost a little bit of it on the way back to the save point. Now you can see how the ice beam works there. You can freeze certain projectiles mid-air, which can potentially help keep you safe. Not generally going to be very much use during the run-through, though. Let's just make our way through here and see what the outside of this building has for us. After all, there are still 3 Metroids that we need to find and take out before we can move on to the next area. Yeah, they also fixed the issue that the previous game's Ice Beam had, in that you don't have to freeze and then thaw an enemy to damage it. You just hit it, it freezes, then keep hitting it, it dies. Well, it looks like there might not be a whole lot more out here. Yeah, unfortunately, the Game Boy doesn't really keep track of things when they go off screen. So, if you don't want to lose it, you have to let it go through. And as with the previous version, or the previous game in the series, we can just freeze these guys to get right by them. Now we climbed all the way up to the top here last time. Let's see what else there is on the right. Well, it looks like we found the next Metroid. It's not here waiting for us. Enemy placement in this game is definitely not as nice as it could have been. And we can bomb through here to see what we can find. Because they do actually hide some stuff in these areas sometimes. I don't think they did that here. Oh, another Metroid somewhere nearby. And a third one. Well, I think we found where all the Metroids are. Not too bad. Looks like that's all there is to see around here. Pick up some more missiles. Go on the other side. Another fairly easy one to take out. Still got plenty of health left. Yeah, this game, well, it does still have its hard points. Nowhere near as hard as the original Metroid. Oh. Yeah, those viney-looking areas do still hurt. And you do not want to spend any more time in them than you have to. He's getting a fair bit of health on the way out. Now then, should be another Metroid right in here. Yep. Yeah. And that takes care of the last Metroid for this area. Gotten everything we need to get, so we can head right along. But we are looking a little sparse on health right now, so if you'll pardon me for a bit, before we actually completely leave the area, I think I'm going to go back and fill up again. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Go into this area, lots of tubes where enemies spawn. But only so many enemies spawn before it runs out of them. So, refill your health pretty quickly without having to worry too much about taking too much damage. And we can just keep moseying on along. Now we need to go back to where the lava was just a little bit ago. And lo and behold, now that we took out all the Metroids, somehow all the lava's gone. Makes it a lot easier and a lot safer to get through here. And opens up the next area for exploration. And just drop down. And see where this path takes us. Ow. That tickled. As you can see, there's just not a lot of room in here to actually avoid enemies that you don't want to have to fight or get around. Well, we're definitely not going any further down. Technically we could. All it does is hurts us a bit. But I'd rather avoid getting hurt any more than I have to. I'm sure most people would agree. So, we do now have another nice big area to explore. And let's see what this has in store for us. Well, this gives us some enemies that we need to apparently get completely stuck on. There we go. Need to avoid them, otherwise they drag you down into the sand. Or we can just tunnel through the sand. Avoid the threat of them entirely. Don't really do all that much, one way or the other. Empty feeding tubes. Good sign there's a Metroid nearby. We have 7 more in this area that we need to track down and take out. And the enemies in here are just a little more dangerous than before. And we have a bunch more area to explore in here. Let's go ahead and save right quick in case something terrible happens. And let's see what's on the outside of this area. If this is where I think it is, we can get something or a couple things that are very nice at the very top of it. If it's not where I think it is, then we'll get it later. But so far it's looking pretty promising. it gives us more missiles. Nothing bad about that. And I am not going to be able to crawl past that. At least, not on this section. So let's head back inside and see what we can find in there. Well, looks like we have some water in here. This is kind of nice, I guess. Yes. These things are very annoying to deal with. They hide in a small area and make it very hard for you to get to them. Pop out as often as they can, and they tend to hurt a lot. Obviously, at this point in the series, they hadn't decided that they wanted water to slow you down. So water in this game doesn't do much of anything to you. Just gives you a nice, nifty looking thing to run through. It looks like we do have another Alpha Metroid coming up here before too long. But we have some missiles to grab first. There we go. This looks like it might be a Metroid area. That was pathetically easy. Now, here you have to use the spider ball to climb up all the way to the top of this. Which brings us into here. And what's in here? Well, apparently whatever was there has been hidden away. In here. And yes, this is where I thought it was. If you thought this game or the enemies were dealing too much damage to this point, well, you need worry no more. For we now have the Varia suit. And this introduces the now very iconic outline for the Varia suit, where you have those honking massive shoulder pads keeping Samus cool. How cool they are is a matter of personal taste. Here, I think they're pretty decent, but a little bit overblown. With that out of the way, let's get back to that save point we saw earlier and call it a day. So right up here. Up and out. I have to go around that massive brambles. And see if I can't get some health along the way. But no, looks like that's not happening. And that'll wrap things up for today's episode. Tune in next time as we go through more of Metroid 2. Until then, Magius out.